I thought that really the last 2 days have been pretty good, considering it's an open date. And sometimes if you don't have if you don't have a game on the weekend, it is at times a struggle to get guys going. But to their credit, they've practiced very well. I just think they're in good habits right now when it comes to practice. So I'm pleased with our coach's ability to get them to this point, and our players' ability to keep it going. But I'll open up for questions.
But you didn't get an email or a call or a text during practice informing you that Todd Gurley's status had changed or anything?
No, I don't. All I know is what you all know, that whatever was reported, but Todd wanting to get reinstated and us going through the process of getting that done.
Coach, what would you say would be the importance of getting this taken care of and him rejoining the team, maybe a time in Florida?
Well, it'd be wonderful. We definitely would like to know one way or another in time to really prepare our team properly. Without a doubt, it would be very exciting if the answer was that he could play in the game.
What are the dynamics during practice between him and the other players and Chubb and the others as this hangs over his head?
It's just normal day. Even the last couple weeks, when the first week, the Thursday prior to the Missouri game is when the news came out, and Todd was. I gave Todd the choice on whether he would be at practice or not. At first, he wanted to be at practice, wanted to be with his teammates, but after he thought it through, he thought that he could possibly be a distraction to the team and didn't want to be that. And he wanted the coaches to, at least for one practice, try to do whatever we needed to do to get the other guys ready to go, so to speak. So he ended up not going to practice on that Thursday. But the next week, he was there at everything, and I think it was just really good medicine for him. Talked to him a couple times throughout this thing in person, a lot of texting back and forth here and there. And, one of the things he mentioned even in last week's game against Arkansas, that he just enjoyed watching the game, enjoyed watching his teammates play, and enjoyed watching Chubb do his thing. He said he felt a little bit like a proud father watching Chubb play ball, and so his spirits have been good, and he's tried to not be a distraction to the team in any way. He's only tried to, support his teammates through practice and things of that nature.
One last question.
Excuse me.
As you stress character with the players, how has this come up in discussions with him and with other players as to the mistakes he says he made and how you go forward?
Well, I think we all make mistakes. What I've always asked of our players, if they do make a mistake, to to be honest about it and to take their discipline like a man, and then move on in a positive direction, learn from it, and move on in a positive way. And that's, I think that's the approach Todd's taken right now, and many other players over the years. The goal is to not only teach guys to play football, but to educate them, and this is part of the education process.
Are you familiar with this proposed legislation to pay players, based on cost of attendance plus an amount for their use of their likeness and signature? Are you aware of that?
I'm not. It's the first I've heard of it. I've always heard the cost of attendance thing. Well, I guess it was in place for, a month or so? Or it was in place for a little while, and then I don't know who backed off, or whether it was the presidents or the NCAA in general. I mean, we are the NCAA. We're all members. And I don't know why it kind of got stopped abruptly, but I do think the cost of attendance would be very helpful.
Mark, can you talk a little bit about Christian Payne and what he's brought on?
Well, Christian is a guy that, just like a lot of walk-ons, they come in with the hopes of, at first, I think, just being accepted by their teammates, trying to fit in, wondering if they're good enough to compete with these guys. And then over time they begin to do scout team work mostly. That's kind of their first experience, especially if their first experience is in the fall camp. And so he was doing some scout team on defense, scout team on special teams, and just showing up, so to speak, with effort and ability and toughness. And the more you watch some of these guys on the scout teams, the more you say, hey, maybe he can help us on the special teams. And he's kind of earned his way there. And now, with Maxie having that stinger or burner or whatever you want to call it in the middle of last game, he gets thrown in the fire, and here he is playing fullback for Georgia, and he did a nice job. So he's earned a lot of respect. And I want to emphasize the word earned it. These guys that are walk-ons earn everything they get, and he's a guy that I think his teammates know that he can play major D1 football.
Did you have any awareness of him? I know he went to the school his kids went to, but
Yeah, I knew
what
about
became
him.
your- Okay.
Yeah, all my kids went to Prince Avenue Christian School, and that's where Christian went. And kind of following the team from afar. I can't go to the games, unfortunately, but just reading about him and hearing about him. My daughter Anya is a senior in high school now, and so she was, I guess, just one class behind him, and she knew who Christian was and everything. And I've just heard a lot of good things. And then when he came in this summer, our strength staff noticed him right away, his ability to keep pace in the strength and conditioning program. They were impressed with him as an athlete and as a guy who had some strength.